Okay. So, hi everyone. I hope you're having a good Friday. This class is going to be pretty brief, shorter than a lot shorter than Wednesday. We are taking some of Wednesday's time today and just trying to let you guys have a good Friday and new month and everything, right? The major goal of this class is for question and answers from the last class. So I know the last class was how many of us did practical? How many of us actually wrote the code from the session in the last class? Can we indicate in the messages? How many of us wrote the code? What actually happened? Did you get stuck somewhere? Was there trouble loading? Are you guys confused somewhere? So that's basically the essence of this class. The goal is not just to rush through different things, but to make sure you have an understanding of what is going on. Obviously, if everybody understands, we can go early. But I have a feeling that there are a lot of people that were stuck because that last session was super long, and so I just want to make sure we carry everyone along. So please feel free to unmute or put a message or type in the message section if you have any question or if there was anything that was kind of lost in translation from the last class, right? But how many of us did it? How many of us actually were able to run the code? You could send you could send the message and you could get what was stored in your smart contract. How many of us were able to do that? I'm not seeing that. Okay, you could not connect the smart contract to the app. All right, that's the first feedback. That makes sense. So we'll try doing that today. Who else? Um, who else had trouble setting up the environment or connecting the smart contract? Um, okay, I will just Francis system freeze. You have to reboot. Okay, I missed the smart contract part. Okay. Um, so maybe we can just give a short break. I will share my screen and show the smart contract and the Remix IDE where the smart contract and the code is. I'll show the Remix IDE and I'll show the GitHub repo. Let me even share the repo again where Sammy was able to keep the where Sam was able to keep the file, basically the HTML file. It's pretty straightforward. Literally, I can copy and paste it in the comment section. The goal was for it to be straightforward, actually. But for as many of us that were not able to follow, this is the simple index.html file that Samuel did. So I'm just going to paste it here. He couldn't connect, was given an error code. We're going the exact code, don't know the issue. Cool. So for as many of us that are having error code, it'd be nice to have like a screenshot of your error code and just paste it. Right. This class will be very interactive and to just the goal is to unblock all the blocked all the people that are blocked to be unblocked, basically. So this is where the GitHub repo is, and this is where. So I'll share my screen for you guys to see the Remix IDE, right? and you guys can just copy, screen grab some of your errors and everything. For the next 5 minutes, I'll just pause, and then you guys can screen grab and post on the comment channel. And then when I come back, we can see it. This class is basically to unblock anybody that's blocked and figure out what's happening, right? So let me share my screen that has the solidity code. Right. So Zainab, you can take us back with a playlist while I wait for a lot of the screen grabs, and people say that they have errors connecting, so we have to. So I'll go through the connecting section, but I'm waiting for more questions. And if you have a screenshot of any other type of error, because there are two people that said they have error connecting, if I have a screenshot of any other type of error, just put it on the comment section. I'll give you guys like 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and do the connecting and answer any other questions. Right? So Zainab, if you can continue with that.
Hi everyone. Good evening.
Right. Let me show an example on my webpage, and then as you follow this step, network error, network error. So basically, a lot of people, I believe that ABI is unique for every smart contract. So on the remote ID, where can we find the ABI to include in our code? Okay, let me go to that window first before. So on the Remix IDE, the ABI, when you go to the deployment section of the code base, look at the deployed smart contracts here. Um, where is it the deployment section or? Oh, actually, when it builds, so this artifact here contains the build info. So this build info full diary.json is the ABI more or less. It's actually the ABI, just that Remix IDE adds a lot of parameters. Like this deploy is not necessary when you are using it. We want to use it on your code base. So neither is this data. The actual ABI is this ABI here. And if you notice, it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing as what you have in your code base in the index HTML. Basically, it's the exact same thing. So this is the actual API in the artifacts. That's where you find it in Remix or IDE. Once you compile, once you compile and you build, basically, the first thing that it does when you compile, and this is how to compile, you can just right click and compile. The first thing that it does when it compiles is it generates the artifacts, and then the rest are data and deployment information that are unique to Remix ID, but what you need is the ABI. So I hope I answered that question. Um, yeah, so let's get to the common error or the common issue, which is the IDE screen is too small. Oh, I mean, okay, let me increase the size of the screen. Even though technically, let me zoom in a bit. Even though technically, we'll not really be using this IDE screen a lot for this section, right? We won't be using it a lot for this section because, again, this is a troubleshooting section to make sure that everybody's carried along on the last section. So yeah, this is the full diary solidity code that you guys wrote. And then this is the full diary solidity code that you guys wrote. When you compile, it generates the artifacts. The full diary.json, go to ABI. This is the ABI. So yeah, let's get back to answering you guys' questions. Um, what I can see is the major question is connecting, right? So I will also use my screen. If you look at this ID screen, we all know we all see our MetaMask icons here. When we open, so let me share the index.html screen really. Um, I know Samuel used a what do you call it? Um, truffle and ganache, right? Or did you guys connect directly to? Let me share my DAPP. Okay, you guys can see my screen. Cool, cool. Can you guys see the DAPP, the application on my screen? I assume you can. And then in so doing, so what happens then when you open the page of the DAPP? The reason why you guys are having this network error is because literally it is not connected on MetaMask. Now, the code base, when you look at the code base, right, it's a very straightforward, bare bones vanilla JS connection, which means even when it's trying to connect, like I have multiple accounts, for example, if you can see my own screen. So it just connects the very first account. It's not really triggering MetaMask well. It's just listening to the Windows.ethereum event on your DOM. And that Windows.ethereum event, it is now using it, right? It's not necessarily triggering things because this plugin is not doing much. It's basically just listening to your DOM and trying to make sense with what is happening. You can use this plugin to trigger the MetaMask pop-up and the rest. But again, this is vanilla JS, so um, I the intention was not really to go so in depth. But the way to fix the network connection issue is go to your MetaMask. You should see that this is not connected. If you can follow me in this session, you should see if I disconnect this site now. If I disconnect this site and every other site, to be fair, let me disconnect all the sites. So this particular site is this file here. Well, let me say I want to disconnect every site. See, this is not connected. So when you open your MetaMask, this should be what you see, right? Not connected. So it's up to you now, because it's a very simple implementation. To open your, click on this triple tabs here, right? Go to connected sites and say manually connect to current site. If you can click on that, then it asks you select which of the accounts. I want to select just one. You can literally select all if you want, but I'll select just the one, and then I'll connect. So once you have connected it, you should be able to get most of the feedback. Let's say canary report is undefined. Oh yeah, I'm still undefined. Very interesting. Let me refresh my screen. So for as many that has tried that and it was able to fix the issues, just indicate in the comment section here. This is like we're supposed to be following each other. For some reason. Interesting. I don't know if I'm importing the plugin properly. Okay, I'll do that one. Hmm. It's quite weird, Sean. Interesting. We might have to look at that separately. But like, was it able to fix most of your connection issues? Because I feel like maybe I'm not running the project properly. Maybe I'm not running the right Ethereum address. Gotcha. Okay, that was able to fix most of your issues, right? I figured. Don't mind me and my configuration problems. You should this should have fixed your issue by now. So yeah, anyways, I'll look at my configuration issues later. But basically that's so you should be able to interact with your smart contract now. You should be able to send, you should be able to get food, and you should be able to see what's going on. So no injector provider. Your remix ID is saying no injector provider. Okay. So let me go to my shared screen tab. Let me go to the Remix ID section. When it's saying no injected provider, right? Remix ID, that means Remix ID doesn't know what you're connected to, basically. What happens? This big screen is weirding me out. It's so big. Go to the connectors here. So this shows you the providers. It's so big. Okay, no, this is for plugins. This is for settings. This is for right. My bad. Go to the deployment tab. You should see environment. This plug here, environment. So for me, I selected MetaMask. You can select Remix VM London, which I'm sure that's what you guys used yesterday. Maybe that's why mine wasn't working. But yeah, so select. So these are all test nets basically that have been deployed for people to test and play around with. This injected MetaMask provider is basically my MetaMask. As you see, as soon as I clicked on it, the MetaMask popped up because this is a live connection to a testnet via my MetaMask. But the rest are connecting directly to a testnet. So yeah, so that's how to fix the injected provider if you have that issue. Nice. The way I increase the screen is weirding my eyes out. Okay. MetaMask is not on your list. Do you have MetaMask installed on your system or your browser? If you don't, it won't be on your list. If you don't have it installed on your browser, it won't be on your list. If you have it installed as a plugin, then it should be on your list because scroll down. Or maybe it is not connected to Remix IDE either. So you can just click on MetaMask and look at if it's connected here. If it's not connected, do like I did the last time, connected sites. For mine, it's connected, so I don't need to connect again. But if it were not connected, for example, it would tell me, oh, should I manually connect? Right? But to be fair, even if it's not connected, it should still show as an option. Injected provider MetaMask. In injected provider should always show as an option because that's what prompts you to connect. So I'm not sure what the issue is. But there's probably something, I don't know whether it's wrong with your Remix IDE setup or what. But the reason why we chose Remix ID is because it's online, so everything should be the same. You should check. If you're checking well, you should see it. But otherwise, to be honest, I'm not sure how I can help with that particular issue. So yeah, so everything is connected. Of course, you should use the web version. We're testing with the web version. All right, Queen, can you paste the error that yours is showing? So we are testing with the web version of Remix IDE because it's easier. A lot of these things are already pre-configured in the web version. Okay, yeah, there is also the offline version. But we're using the web version because a lot of these things are pre-installed just so it's easy for you guys. So you can go to the website remix.ethereum.org. It should be straightforward. So Queen, if your code is still showing an error, can you copy and paste the error that your code is still showing, please? Yeah, so most of us have it running. Any other questions? Yes, remix.ethereum.org. This is where this is what we are using as our IDE. So does anyone have any other questions? Queen, I'm waiting for you to paste the error that your code is still showing so we can walk through that, So the next practical I want us to do, because from now till the end of the um, course really is practical sessions, right? It's practical sessions. The more you practice, the better you are at it, to be honest. So I will send you a code ahead. This link is super helpful if you want to practice solidity. So solidity by example is basically a lot of um, snippets and solidity code that does different things. There is also an explanation video at the top. So if you watch that video, it explains some parts of the code that they're trying to do that they have like examples of. So yeah, so I would advise anyone to just start from the very top. It goes from easier to more complicated. So your first one should be like the hello world should be first up. Then you should be looking at primitive data types or something. The more you practice, honestly, the more it becomes very straightforward to you. Oh, you're using how to record phone for class. Okay, I mean that would be interesting, Queen. I mean, but I want to help, so you can turn on your video. You can turn on while Queen is figuring herself out. Um, are there any more questions? Please feel free to unmute. This is an interactive class. Make sure we are not left hanging from the last class. Feel free to unmute. Feel free to ask. Feel free to discuss. Our next practical session is going to be a token. So I want us to be able to create a token, create money basically, and publish it on Gorily or somewhere. And then when we publish it on Gorily, then we can send each other some of our tokens and some of our money. So some of you that have invested in crypto and lost money and the rest, this is basically how these people created their tokens. We are going to do a very simple version, obviously, but the way people publish tokens that you buy and sell is basically the same way. Queen, I'm seeing you, seeing your code base. I
Like,
can't make out.
uh,
Can you can you zoom and go to the error itself? I can't see the error though. Oh shit, what's happened to my light? I can't see the error.
like it's in line 8. Like,
I can't read what it's saying. Did you copy and paste the exact what
yeah,
the has in the code base?
yes, I did.
Yeah, I think
What?
I said, can she share her screen if it's possible? So that we,
Yeah,
yeah,
but she says she's using her phone and then her laptop is on her laptop and then her work is on her laptop. Yeah, it's easier you can just share your screen, but I'm trying to accommodate as much as I can. We really can't see this.
Oh,
Can you read out the error? I have can't I can't help if I can't read what the error is saying.
okay, let me read it out. Like, the error is on line 8, and then it's saying from solidity, filter error expected this sign, then but got identifier. Like, I don't understand the error at all.
Did you what solidity version are you set to use? And how are you compiling it?
Okay, you said we should type on the, we should compile by right clicking on the food.so. That's
Yeah.
what I did.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I did, and then I got this error.
So your top, this your top. Can you see my own screen? This is your top Pragma Solidity. What is on there? What version are you using?
0.80.
I mean, I don't know if it's let's see if that compiles as well. I think your compiler version is lower. Increase it to 0.8.5, 8.7.
8.7.
Well, to be fair, it's not throwing an error once we did it correctly. You must have a syntax something somewhere. I'll just copy and paste it because there is what you are showing me is a syntax error, and it makes no sense if you have copied and pasted it exactly as we had it. Comment section again. Even the 0.8.0, you should be fine.
But can you paste it? Okay.
Yeah, you should be
Let me
fine.
try it again.
Yeah. Um, okay. So we can wait and allow for other people to. Okay, guys. Yeah. Okay. So I feel like we all understood what was going on. I would like to get a consensus of like if we wanted to use a more um like a what do you call it, because some of the constraint that we're having is because we're using vanilla JS, and for as many people that know vanilla JavaScript, especially when you're compiling it raw from the HTML without any compilers and stuff, is a bit tricky to preset and do some configurations. I was thinking of us um, using a framework for our next class. So let's vote on the most popular framework. The highest votes with the one that we would use to create the tokens. Right. I want us to be able to create tokens. Your Mimi's ID is still saying no injected provide. Okay, no. Okay, sorry. I scrolled down. My bad. So can we vote? Let's all comment on the message section between Vue, Angular, and React. What do we want to use to create our next class, which is a token? Right. Collect says React. People are saying React. Okay, there's 3 votes for React. Uh-uh. Everybody React. At least one view. Okay. Okay. Um, let's keep voting and then let's see. Lawson has this error, call revert exception, get food on cotton promise. Okay. I see. On cotton promise. Lawson says React for sure. Okay. So Lawson, I'm looking at this your error. What is blinking? Looking at this your error, and it seems to me like it's connected, but does it show that Ethereum is actually connected? Mm. Okay, it seems to me like
Yes, it does.
are you setting the right address, the right deployment address for where you deployed? So when you deploy your um smart contract, right? If you can see this my screen here, when I go to this deployment side after it has been compiled, it shows me this is the contract. I select this. When you click on deploy, see, if you look at the under here, it's doing plenty error. Say from is not defined. Okay, cool. So it wants me to connect my own account. I have injected MetaMask. By the way, it's always good to put a password on your MetaMask, guys. Prevents error. Okay, so I have the from account now. So when I click on deploy, it asks me and it deploys, right? When I click on confirm, you can see from the console here, the creation is pending. So sometimes when you have any transaction going on your MetaMask, you can click on your MetaMask and you can view the status of the transaction. See, it has updated here, but also these are all the activities. This is my latest activity. So when I click view it on the deployer, this is the transaction. So when you go to Etherscan, when you see TX /, it shows that this is a transaction, right? But I don't want the transaction. I want the actual wallet address. So you say, this is the contract that was created. Contract created. Click on this contract. When you click on Etherscan address /, okay, yes, this is a contract or this is a wallet address. This is a person. So now I have the address. So if you are deploying using Gorley MetaMask, this should be the address that you are using, right? If you're deploying using anything else, where am I doing this? If you're deploying using maybe London, you're deploying using London or something else, it will show you it has been deployed. It gives you the details of the deployed contract, right? And under here, you should definitely see the details of the contract. You can copy. What am I copying? Let me console log what I'm copying, to be fair. Okay, yes. So if you copy this, it will be the wallet address. So make sure you have it deployed. Make sure you have copied the right address, and make sure that right address you have pasted it in the smart contract address side. So this food contract address should be this address that you have copied. Correct? Or if you're using MetaMask, it should be this. So if you have the right address, it should work. Hope I was able to answer that question. While I look, and everybody's saying React. So we're going to use React. So for Monday session, we're basically going to use React, create a token, and send each other money. So there'll be a token created. I'll give everybody or as much people as I can money, and everybody will send each other some money from the token, view their balance, and then make other interactions with that token. Lawson, I hope I was able to answer your question. I hope I was able to unblock everybody. And I also want to apologize for taking your time a lot on Wednesday. Next time, we will just split the class and continue in the next class because everyone has things to do. So, all right, Lawson. So if that's it, because I don't see any more questions. If that's it, I don't want to keep you guys for too long to make up for Wednesday. So, I mean, I hope we have the link though to Solidity by example. This has been very helpful if you really want to learn how to code. Our next class is basically using, let me scroll down to what I'm going to be using for our practical. Our next class is basically ERC20. This is basically what we're going to be doing practically for our next class. We are going to code it out, going to walk through it, going to talk through it, and then we are going to code in React and use it. So for some of us that like book to pre-study, yeah, that's the link, Queen. So yeah, I guess I guess that's it, right? Success, unless there's anything else.
Thank you so much for the class. I think personally, especially how to create tokens so that we can share. Yeah, we'll be having our Christmas party. Thank you everyone for joining tonight. Thank you to our tutor some session, knowing that we're able to come with one. It's a great success. Thank you so much. We would not like to, as always, attendance is strictly important. We are more important in you gaining knowledge and being here, being around. No, we'd like to see you till the end of the class and the community is always open to everyone. Come with your questions, answers. Thank you so much. And a reminder, our Sunday quiz holds West African time. So everything we've learned throughout the week quiz to test our knowledge. Thank you, beautiful weekend. Thank you and bye-bye.
Bye,
Take
bye,
care,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye, everyone. Queen, if you're still having issues, or anyone that's still having issues, feel free to reach out to me or to Samuel on Discord. And I don't mind like having one-on-one calls to unblock people. Bye, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.